Arkansas legislators recently passed the state's campus carry bill, and when it goes into effect, it will allow Arkansas CHL holders who obtain 8 hours of additional training to carry concealed handguns on public college campuses in Arkansas. Now the work is underway to implement the law, which goes into effect later this year. And joining us now to talk more about the process, the author of that House Bill 1249, Republican State Representative Charlie Collins of Fayetteville. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you, Daniel.
And I guess first off, we need to talk about some amendments that are being made to the bill as well.
Yes, so we passed Act 562, and what that does is dramatically expands the places that a concealed carry holder can carry if they get an enhanced permit. So you'll need to have the base permit, which has background checks and a certain level of training, which includes actual shooting training. But then you'll need an additional 8 hours of training for active shooter situations to be in these more sensitive areas. The primary area, and of course my focus in pursuing the law, is college campuses to help protect our loved ones from the crazy killers that target places like that. But once we got this more generic requirement, which basically qualifies somebody for these more sensitive situations, we use that to open it up to other places like public buildings, including the state capitol.
I was going to say that there was a lot of talk about the state capitol, whether or not it should be on there. But one of the things that is on there is bars. And as some people, the critics of this bill, have argued that you shouldn't mix alcohol and firearms. What do you think about that? Well,
obviously, you're not allowed to be intoxicated with a weapon. So if you think about behavior and behavior choices, similar to the way we treat driving an automobile, and alcohol, obviously those things don't mix. This law says you can carry everywhere except, and it has a list of 3 or 4 places, like pre-K, daycares, K through 12 schools, prisons, and courtrooms.
Now, does that include, a lot of folks were talking about stadiums. Can you carry in a stadium when this goes into effect?
Yeah, so what we did originally in the law, stadiums were not on the exempted list. But after the law was passed, since there were no pre-restrictions by the NCAA or SEC or the Sun Belt or anyone else, after our law went into effect, they started thinking about their own policies, and the SEC issued a letter saying they had some real concerns and might affect Arkansas' schedule. So that was really the official word that the sports leagues were going to be thinking about this differently. Mm-hmm. So what we did was created fire-sensitive areas, and those fire-sensitive areas include sports stadiums, include UAMS and City Hospital in Little Rock. And if those areas have a safety plan that's approved by the Arkansas State Police, then the Arkansas State Police will grant them the authority to prohibit even the enhanced concealed carry holders. So yes, stadiums will have an exemption if they follow those procedures.
And I guess that'll be up to each individual university as far as that goes.
Yes.
Including the University of Arkansas. Okay.
Yes.
So when does all of this go into effect? Because there's been some confusion on that. The law actually takes effect, I believe, is it January 1st or September 1st?
September 1st. So okay. the law, Act 562, goes into effect on 1 September. But when we added the training component, we gave the Arkansas State Police 120 days from the effective date of the law in order to design that training program. So they'll effectively have till the end of 2017 to design that training, and then the concealed carry instructors will begin teaching and training people. So I would envision that happening in the beginning of 2018. And as people choose to get this enhanced permit, they will start to come online in 2018.
So you won't be able to actually get the enhanced permit until next year?
That is correct.
Okay. Okay. Well, a lot of good information, and thank you so much for joining us. State Representative Charlie Collins, as always, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And if you have an idea for Sunday Sit Down or a topic you would like to see us discuss, write me on Facebook, 4029 Daniel Armbruster.